Welcome to the Decreased Wrinkles with 3 Tweaks. This is Rhonda Liebig. I'm known as a diabetic health coach, really being able to pause and heal the diabetes symptoms by basic shifts. Today we're going to talk about just this latest research. We're going to discuss how we're going to implement just little tweaks here and there that are going to help you instantly be able to make changes. I like to have these workshops weekly so we can really implement these new things that we're learning and how to step into action, because the more energy and the more that you think about the positive way of living and think about how the stress takes a big toll on your life, you're really going to learn that we are just in a state of, stress and overload, and we just need to take a step back and learn to make some big changes. First off, it's taking little tweaks, and they exponentially make big differences in your life. So I just thank you for being here. September 23rd, you may be getting this in video. And let's talk about the 3 areas that if you saw this on Facebook and you came in that way, you would have seen the 3 areas that we're going to talk about. Feeling like you hit your reset button to refresh, approach for results. So sometimes when we are in the state of feeling overwhelmed, when I'm coaching, it may feel to you like I can't add anything new. So I want this to be a reset button to refresh the approach and the results that you want. I want a reset. So when you're feeling like you're overwhelmed every day, think about if you had more energy, more ways to move yourself forward. So we'll talk more about that as we go along. Also, having increased clarity in how to control and balance your daily hectic schedule. With feeling overwhelmed and having a daily hectic schedule, which I get into also, sometimes it's just that we need to pause and heal the symptoms that we're dealing with. And how are we going to do that? Today we'll talk more about that. I coach in the way that I believe that as soon as you become more aware of what you're doing, that's the jumpstart. That's the beginning of really listening to yourself and learning more about who you are and what's brought you into the state of feeling like you're not in the health that you want to be. I had a client just this morning talking to her about the cleanse. So I just recently had a group of people going through the cleanse. I do it quarterly. And she was discussing how she did not get through the cleanse 100% because it's a really intense process. But what she did learn, though, is so much about her connection with her food, how much more she realized that her food was her way of dealing with life. And she kind of knew that, but by the time that she started getting into the cleanse, she was telling me how empty her glass was. You know how the half full, half empty kind of scenario, that she could not see things positively. And as she was going through the 2 weeks, she lost weight, she felt good, but it was still a very hard thing to feel like she was imbalanced, because she had to really try and find that balance without choosing the food. So today we're going to just get you aware of what's going on in your life and your points of your stressors and ways that you may be able to calm your system. And being aware. So feel also like you can naturally take a deep breath instead of gulping for air, trying to swim the surface of your stress. Have you felt that before, where you feel overwhelmed? You feel like this is how life is, living in anxiety or living in go, go, go. And when you do that, you know that it's hard to lose weight that way. It's hard to maintain a certain weight. And if you are naturally a slender person, you're going to find other issues that may happen with constipation because of being stressed all the time, with feeling like you don't have any time for anybody else. Everybody in your life, you may be saying, I'm too busy, too busy, too busy for anything. And then you don't have the balance, and then you start losing yourself, and then you forget the person that you are. So welcome here today. I am pizzazzed and dancing around, excited that you're here with me. I always like to just give you the approach of the areas that we're going to work, and I started looking at the information that I was going to do, and so I started breaking it out in percentages. So excuse me, you know, my background is being a CPA. I do come from corporate background, and so you'll see numbers and percentages, but it at least gives you a snapshot so you know how your time is being spent with me. So buckle in, roll your shoulders back, bring out those arms to the side, just take a big inhale and shake it out and exhale. You know I had to do that, I had to get you reset. Just as a health coach, I really like to allow your body to relax, and you're going to notice that the breathing really helps. So you're going to get to know me. Let's spend a little bit of time there so you know why should you be here. You may already know my background, but we're going to get into it so you know that the research that I'm doing, me as a blogger, and getting to know why you should be listening. Also, we're going to talk about diabetic stats. So if you're with me and you came in and you are not dealing with diabetes, or you do not have anybody in your family that has diabetes, or living with somebody that has diabetes, but you're here just to learn about slowing the aging process, what are the 3 tweaks? I welcome you here. If you're diabetic, if you have somebody that is dealing with diabetes and you're cooking food for them, or it's part of the family, or it runs in your family, I want you to be very aware of the diabetic stats, because it's very, very tricky. And we're going to learn more about why diabetes is very tricky. So I'll give you some information there. Also, let's talk about how are we going to be focused in on making these 3 tweaks. How are we going to do that? Well, we're going to do it by becoming aware. So if you did not get your worksheet, I have the questions. They're going to be displayed through here, so it'll really help you with answering the questions. I want you to have a piece of paper and pen. If you have that available, I want you to step in and get that. Also, I want you to be feeling like you're getting something from it. So the more that you become interactive with me and what I'm talking about, I'll tell you, I have 16 years of coaching, and so I want you to just absorb what I'm saying, just kick back and just allow none of those sabotages that you're too busy, that you're feeling like you're overwhelmed. I want you to stay focused, get some results here like we said in the screen before, and then also at the last part, I'm going to share with you how you can spend more time with me. So I want you to stay in there. I have a really, really good investment to come in to really just be seeing me more often. So welcome. All right, here's my crazy family. So Kirsten on the bottom left here, you're going to see she's making a really silly face. Well, when I was growing up, I could flip my lip back. I still can, but I could flip my lip back, my bottom lip like that. You'll see that her lip looks really big on the bottom, and so it was one of those silly things that I've always been able to do, and without holding my face at all, just doing it naturally. And so she's doing her little silly tongue stick out and the bottom lip flipped backwards. So yeah, this is the beach. We love the beach. We love hanging out. And we really love the balance that that I've learned through the coaching. So we spend quite a bit of time talking and spending time together. So those are my kiddos. That's my husband. And my husband is a CPA, so that's how I met him, which is silly because now I'm really realizing that I'm so crazy that I need to be in this industry. In this industry to help you balance yourself. Just recently, I did a blog on friendship. And what it really came down to is looking at yourself as a person and how you deal with your friendships and what disconnect you may have, because the friendships are a direct connection with how you are dealing with life, how you're dealing with everything in your life. Because if you have good, positive people that support you even when you're losing weight or you're gaining weight or you're making the wrong choices, but people are there to still love you. Sometimes, it's not just the friends you're choosing. Sometimes it's just us. Sometimes we have good people in our life, and we choose to just keep sabotaging our relationships because we're not centered. So I definitely want to welcome you into reading my blogs. And again, it's just the coaching tools and to help give you some insight. But here's some pictures of me. I really loved horses, loved spending time with friends, riding horses. And I was a flag girl when I was in high school. And you'll see my hair, how silly it was. I was really into punk rock in my 11th and 12th grade year. I'm from Northern Cal, and I was going to San Francisco all the time, going dancing. Never really into drinking. I was really actually a kid that just wanted to dance and move, and that's and the stuff that you're learning from me today is something that just comes naturally, and with also proven results from spending time with clients. So this is all about friendship, but the quote is, "We have always needed others for our survival. It's in our genes. Therefore, people with social connections feel more relaxed and at peace, which is related to better health." And this was in research I was doing in a medicine journal that I found, and I thought, you know what, this is perfect for what we're talking about today. The reason why I focus in on diabetes is it's been a recent shift for me. So I've been in the health industry before with just general health. And I would say that I've always led with a diabetic approach because I always talked about insulin and how insulin really affected our bodies. If your insulin is too high, you're going to not be able to burn the fat that you want to when you're working out. If your insulin is too high, you're going to get foggy in the head. If your insulin is too high, your midsection is going to be bigger. And my approach has always been that. Then just recently, I had a 9-year anniversary with my dad passing away August 28th. And before this, I really realized that I'm a diabetic coach. And if you're with me and you're not dealing with diabetes, there's so much you can get from the process that I'm going through when I'm coaching. Because again, insulin, when we have our ups and downs and we're eating high sugar and the insulin gets released in our body, you're going to feel bad anyway. And so I talk a lot about the low glycemic index. I talk a lot about just how you have to balance your body. Looking at my dad's face, and it just really upsets me. And he was so young when he passed away, and he really was taking his medicine and felt like this is the best that he could do for his body. He worked out every day. He even came to our house and every week, and he worked in the yard with us. A very, very active man. But he ended up losing his life in 2005, and he was a diabetic. If you're diabetic, you have double the chance of passing away from a heart attack. Or you're up there at the same level of somebody that's already had a heart attack, that you're at that level already because it wreaks havoc on your cardiovascular system. So my dad passed away of a heart attack. So that's the reason why I'm here, and I'm here to help. And I want to present just a question for you right now, and just knowing who you are. What drives you? What makes you excited about life? What is it that brought you here to want to be making changes? Who are you? What is that little thing inside that just tells you that you can do it, that you can move forward? Because sometimes we have so many sabotages in our mind that we believe that we can't lose weight. We believe we have all these visions in our mind of, what we can't do. But today I want to focus in on what we can do. What can we do? And how are you going to get there? So answer that for yourself. Who are you? What are your motivating factors? Let's just start the discussion here. Let's talk about decreased aging factor and how we're going to deal with the stress. So this is the area that we're talking about for our diabetic stats and what it's all about. And I want you to focus in on when your body has energy and when your body bloats. Because when your body's bloating, I would say 80% of the time you're going to feel lethargic or just not feel good. And sometimes you may have a bit of energy, but you don't feel good in your body. And you'll start seeing your midsection bloat. But think about the insides of your body and how once you process the food and your body starts interacting with its hormones and interacting with the overworking of the kidneys, of the pancreas, and the heart because you're not taking care of yourself. And when you can start connecting in with the areas of how your sugar level's doing in your blood, how your kidneys are trying to process everything. Your pancreas is what releases the insulin. So if you're eating those foods that are just not healthy for you, and your heart and how your heart is beating and how you need that for your life, and to be able to connect that with each time that you have your energy and you're in line, that all this stuff you don't really have to have too many concerns. This is usually the time when you are like high energy, when your body is not as acidic too. So there's a lot of discussions about how stress can wreak havoc on your body, and it can really throw things off and really pinch your liver to make your liver just really, really tight and have a hard time working. And when your high energy is there, that means you're eating the vegetables and you're living the lifestyle that you need to decrease the aging factor. Because the more that intensity that you do on your body with the stress and overload, the more intensity that your body has to go through to clean it. And then what happens is you start bloating. And that bloat is a big factor that you need to be concerned about stuff. When we have a go, go, go attitude and we're feeling like we can basically have to do all this stuff, and we kind of don't take a step back and try and figure out how to increase that energy, that bloat will start happening. And it could be from tons of inhale, 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 but you forget to exhale. It could be that you are just not feeling good about yourself. There's something that you're sabotaging yourself with. You can still get very bloated. And so there is Dr. Dean Ornish. He's the main guy that's really been out there, but there's a lot more research out there. And I've been talking about the telomeres, which is also what was in my book, The Fit Solution. And I really discussed how the telomeres are an extension onto every cell in your body. And when you notice that you're living a lifestyle that you are saying, I wish this would happen, I wish that would happen, instead of in the life of, okay, this is what's happening, this is how I'm going to deal with it, and you get in the front of the energy ball instead of behind and trying to catch up, you're going to find that the connection with your journey is going to be so much easier. So today I just want you to pause and heal what's happening inside and really open up to the confidence and the serenity. It does take confidence to adjust the way that you're thinking. And for me, it happens consistently. I'll feel like, this is as far as I can stretch myself. And you really learn that as you stretch, that there's even more space to open yourself up even more. So it's really, really awesome to be able to experience this. And so if you haven't worked with a coach before, I welcome you in. Just really take some notes here. And if you have worked with a coach, just let this add on the next layer. When we first started, I was talking about how diabetes is very tricky. The research out there right now is saying that you can have diabetes for 10 years before you even know it. 10 years before you even know it. So the symptoms that you may be having maybe haven't been diagnosed yet, because maybe you're just on the edge. You're just on the edge of stuff. Like you're extra thirsty sometimes. Sometimes you feel lethargic after you eat a bagel or a sandwich. Sometimes your vision is good and sometimes it's not. Sometimes your arm falls asleep and sometimes it doesn't. That's the beginning signs. It could be the beginning signs of diabetes. So just take a step back and think about it. Anybody in your family, have they ever had it? Before my dad, I don't know of anybody in the family that had diabetes. But now I know it runs in my family. I know it's a possibility. And if you know my story at all, I'm hypothyroid. And a lot of the symptoms for diabetes are the same symptoms for basically hypothyroid. So let's just lay it out there that we're just dealing in general with chronic disease, stuff that happens with not having the balance, the lifestyle that we truly want to live. That we truly want to live. 10 years you can be living with that. Wanted to share with you that Lindy Puckett, who worked with me for a while, an entrepreneur, she is very inspiring to me because of she lost her dad just a few years ago, and it was very interesting having a talk with her, but she did a coaching plan with me. And she said, thank you so much for all your support and all the eye-opening moments. Thank you for the knowledge you have given me that I will take with me for the rest of my life. I have made so many changes in my life with being organized to get my ultimate outcome. So stress sometimes is related with just that we are feeling unorganized, and sometimes that being unorganized could be that you're just feeling tired and you're not able to keep up on it. And when I find that I'm unorganized, I know that I'm not taking care of my health the way that I need to. You know, sometimes we get caught up in our day-to-day stuff and we just go, 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 and then we realize, here, wait, I've not been giving back to my body. So let's get in and start talking about these steps. So we're talking about the slow aging. Let's slow it down. And the 3 tweaks are right here. If you've already downloaded your packet, this is what happens. I want you to think of what are the top, I have 3 here, 3 lines. What are the top 2 stressors in your life? So you can add another one if you know right away. I did 2 because sometimes that's an instant one right there, but it could be that you're doing a carpool for the kids. If you have kids, it could be that you're an entrepreneur and that you're always reaching out for new work and it just seems overwhelming. It could be that you're having mochas every day or having something that has high sugar to it, and you know right now that that is actually linked directly to your stress because you know that something that you feel that you are eating every day, that it can be a stressor. You know, another thing is just that you're not used to holding a calendar. And sometimes that can be a stressor because you just don't know what direction you're going. And you may overbook yourself, and that could be a big stressor. So the stressors are connected with what makes you grab the wrong foods, makes you feel depleted by the end of the day, and or can wreck your night of sleep. If you're not sleeping well, I would back into what you're doing in the evening to be able to calm your system. And I would start looking at maybe even doing an evening ritual to start relaxing the body and getting focused in on trying to clear the mind. And there's ways of doing that. Or it's starting your morning with having a morning ritual, which may be some reading that makes you feel good. It may be taking a bath. And you know what I'm saying right now, you may not fully be able to connect with, but I'm telling you, the successful people in their day-to-day life have some control in their day. And that really translates to having a ritual that you're going to be doing consistently because it'll calm your mind, it'll bring your senses into the forefront so you know how to approach your day and you know how to approach things that, you know, sometimes things are very, very stressful. So how are you going to be able to connect and handle that? What are the 2 stressors? I've been working really hard at this because the 2 stressors for me would be, see, I work so much in life balance that I spend a lot of time coaching for that. So my stressors would probably be that I'm choosing the wrong food sometimes. I spend a lot of my time eating the right foods because I'm coaching it all the time. And my stressors can be that I ate something that didn't have enough fiber in it, and so it could be like sometimes I'll want a chocolate chip cookie, and I'll notice right away that that at some point within an hour that my mind is going to be buzzing, and I'm not going to have as much clarity, and it's going to affect my productivity. So I sometimes connect just the food directly instead of that I'm doing something that's stressful. But you know what? Another thing is reevaluating what's happening in your life. So when I add something new into my life, I look to see how it's going to fit instead of just jumping in there and saying ready, set, go. But sometimes even if you say I'm going to add it in and then you realize you're double booked or just overwhelmed, you can always reevaluate what's going on. So this is a good time to just look at your schedule and figure out how you'd be able to deal with these two stressors in your life, 2, 3, as many as you have there. Our next area is what foods do you have in your diet that slams your energy to the ground? I mean slams, that brings you into a slump. It does not make you feel good. This should not be real hard to think about because this is the stuff that's why you may have the extra weight, why you're feeling like the extra stress that your body just doesn't have the energy. What are you doing that just doesn't have the energy? And again, I have 3 here because you may be able to 3, 5, whatever, but this is stuff that you mainly do to yourself, and it could be just that you need extra energy and you're thinking if I add this sugar or if I add this certain food, it'll make me feel better, or that it will increase my energy for this 1 hour or for the rest of the day. And then you realize that if you would have eaten a little bit more balanced, that your energy would have naturally come. And the warning sign also is if you are feeling like you're reaching for these foods because you don't have the energy, I would take a step to the side and really look at why your adrenal gland is not helping you get that fight or flight, that energy that you need. Like what's been happening in your body that you don't have the energy to do that, and that you're having the extra caffeine or you're having the extra sugar to get you boosted. And this is where I want you to start connecting with the food choices and just the possible changes. So the earlier discussion, the message I was talking about where my client was saying that the cleanse was very difficult for her because she realized that whenever she was stressed, she just automatically fed food into her mouth, and that's what just calmed her body right away because that was her natural way of dealing with it. And this is happens to many of us. And also, what I find in how I deal with stuff is that when I'm really, really tired, that if I have the space to take a 10-minute nap, 10 minutes. In between, before cooking dinner, in between, one event from the next, whatever it is, it'll reset your adrenal gland. So just laying flat will give a reset with the adrenal gland, and that will also help with your energy. So what are the 2 foods that you're using to help you? Could it be that you're going to Starbucks and doing the extra, the mocha, the, triple macchiato, blah, 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 Starbucks stuff, or is it just that you're having a mid-snack that might be slamming you in the afternoon? I call it the 3 p.m. slump because usually from the time that we start in the morning that we get going and something how we flub up in the way that we're reacting to things and the way that we're seeing really noticing the foods that we're eating, by the time we get to 3, our body's just worn out for the day and just feeling slams, just not being able to do much at all. And that's where you kind of lose your productivity. And so for me and the people that I'm around and the people that I coach, everyone I talk to is that we're concerned about productivity. How are you going to keep your productivity up so the way that you work in the morning is the same way that you work in the afternoon? If your slump is in the morning, then How are you going to keep that energy going or start your energy going? I had a coach that he didn't have breakfast in the morning. He never did. He is vegan. And so how he was eating, he thought he was doing well. I never really got into too much discussion with him about his diet because he was my coach, coaching me through my business. And but he always took a nap at 11 o'clock because he ran his business, so he had the space to do that. But then it affects your productivity because you're taking a nap. So 10 minutes here and there will help really readjust. So I'm going back to the first question and just what the two stressors are in your life. This is about being aware today. I'm only with you for an hour, and it's all about just stepping into it, being aware, and start thinking of things logically. If you are listening and you have your calendar in front of you, look at those stressors. See how you can map some things around. If you're having foods that are just not working for you, what I want to say is you should really add in something in your diet that's going to help balance your body so that you can have more energy. So if you go to this rhondaliebig.com, virtual-group, health coaching, hyphen in between, and these are all lowercase, just here for emphasis, that you will get a recipe and it'll explain more about how easy it is to really just add a basic few things. And it can make a big difference. But in this area right here, this is a great place to go, and I give one basic recipe, and you'll see how easy it is to add those foods in your life. But if you're not around it enough, it's really hard to know how to logically think it's normal and easy to do. Number 3, what part of your day are you feeling at your worst? Let's start connecting with how to be above, the two above that we just talked about, step 1 and step 2, may be affecting your stress factor. So what's aging you? What's making you feel overly stressed? What is it? By being aware of these 3 areas, you are going to make big changes. Not that you have to do big stuff. I'm talking little tweaks here and there. Looking at your calendar, what are your stressors? How are you going to rearrange? Can you ask somebody else for help? Earlier we were talking about a blog that I wrote about our friendships. Sometimes friends can help. Friends, true friends, want to be there for you. And if they're as busy as you are, then pal up with them and figure out how are you both going to be able to help each other in your stressful life situation. How are you going to add those foods without slamming your body with low energy because of the high sugar, not enough fiber? You don't want to bring your energy to the ground. That is actually a health issue. Because now your body has you have your body overworking and not being able to help you. Not being able to help take care of the regular maintenance. And that's where your bloat's going to come in. So if you go to virtual group health coaching, you're going to get a recipe there, and it has like 5 ingredients. And it has wonderful stuff with apple cider vinegar. And there's 10, 15 things that I can easily say about what apple cider vinegar is, but it helps with circulation. It helps with your energy. It helps clean up the cells. It helps rejuvenate. So if you're overly stressed, add the recipe that I have on this page, and you're going to notice a big difference. Just that. Truthfully, you'll find that there's going to be a change in your energy because you just chose the right foods for that snack. So think about those 3 areas. What part of the day are you feeling at your worst? Like, so I gave you the example of mid-morning. Mid-afternoon is in the evening when you get home after your day and you're dealing with just feeling overwhelmed because you're not feeling good. And these 3 areas is what encompasses a whole program and what you need to look at And it can be overwhelming because there's so much information in there. And what one of my coaches said, because I do work with coaches, because I know that a coach is real important for my growing. And I do respect the coaching industry because, of course, I'm a coach too. And she was saying, you know, Rhonda, there's so much information out there, and it's an information society right now. But what people are looking for is really the experience. They're looking for being able to feel smarter before they were with you. And so I want you to take that to heart, that's what I feel every time I approach the Q&A, these webinars, is that I want you to feel like you're fully involved and that you're looking for what's going to help you move to the next level. And once you start connecting with that, you'll find that these little tweaks here and there are going to be welcoming, because you're going to realize that if you just do one little thing, no matter what, you're going to be getting big changes. And you need these 3 areas of thinking about your lifestyle, thinking about your food, reevaluating what's happening in your lifestyle and how you're going to adjust your lifestyle that's going to work for you, work for your family if you're not solo these days. And you're going to find there's going to be more calm and serenity in the household. So this is where I do that in a monthly coaching program called the Fit Solution, One Tweak at a Time Health Coaching. This is where you meet up no matter where you are in the world with me, and you get results with balancing your body with working out, balancing your blood sugars with new foods. You're really connecting with your journey. You lose fat by managing portion control, because we go in specific coaching times discussing the food, discussing your workouts. Decrease stress by daily rituals. So earlier at the top of this, I was talking about how important rituals really are. This is when you're going to start connecting with, yes, I need a ritual. I need something in the morning. I can't get up in the morning because I want to get up right before I have to leave to go to work or go to school. And you're going to find that your energy is going to start increasing, where you're going to feel like you have that space to wake up a half an hour before, to wake up an hour before, depending what your daily ritual is. And once you start connecting with that, exponentially, things will change, because a ritual will help balance your mind and balance your system for calm. You're also going to have decreased sabotages, because just like we talked about today, the more aware that you are, the more you talk about it, the more that you spend working with a coach, you're going to learn behavioral strategies and how to deal with sabotages, things that we thought were happening when we were younger and we're still carrying them with us today. Let's clear it out. You want to go to Virtual Group Health Coaching, RhondaLiebig.com. All this is lowercase. It's just here to help you. Through here, you're going to learn the #1 action you need to take first to make a significant transformation. So as soon as you step into this coaching program, you're going to take this information that you learned today. You're going to learn what your visualization of your #1 goal to make it to the finish line. And I call that my fit coaching, because you need to be aware of your pain and why you need to make these changes, because that's your momentum. You want those changes so bad that you're going to start stepping into it. Then you'll start getting your momentum going. You're going to discover why fear may be holding you back from taking new steps to decrease your daily chaotic stress, which we're dealing with today. And you can go in deeper. Remember, there's layers and more depth into your journey than you realize at this point. You learn new tips in promoting weight loss, even if you have been struggling with weight loss throughout the time. So weight loss can be connected with overly stressed, having too much chaos in your life. It could, being overweight can be specifically related to your food. Overweight can be that you may be on the verge of a chronic disease and your body can't balance itself because it's overworking all the time. I had a client that was saying that they couldn't lose weight at all, and they ended up getting diagnosed with diabetes. So when we first started working together, we started working with the process and what she was dealing with, and at that point she got diagnosed with diabetes. So when you're not able to lose weight, there's something going on inside, and you are on the verge of your body doing something, not being able to take care of itself. So be very careful with that. Also, you're going to learn how to step into a sensational day of gratitude so that your life is enriched with love and support. Talked about friendship, talked about, how you have to approach your day in a more positive way, and how I'm reading The Alchemist right now. I'm always reading something to keep myself, moving forward. And it's a lot about the approach in your day and how you look at things and how the universe really works for you if you're thinking about that positive side. And if you're on the other side where you are thinking, everybody's at you, that everything bad happens to just you, that it can go either way. So living in the sensational gratitude is so important. Learn how a proven system for increasing energy. What we talked about today, you go in even more in depth. Even though you may be having a feeling that that you basically are getting that daily 3 p.m. slump, you're going to learn strategies and how to deal with that. And that's at rhondaliebig.com, virtual group health coaching. Through here, these are people that have been working with me that have gotten results and wanted to share. Beverly said, realizing that I can feel satisfied by eating so simply and clean, finishing a meal and not feeling bloated. Wow. After eating and you feel bloated or you feel lethargic, it's nice to learn how to eat where your body doesn't react badly to what's happening. From Nancy, thank you for educating me on making healthy choices and explaining how that makes me more fit, healthy, and better capable of taking care of my body. So through this journey, you learn so much and connect with your daily choices and how you can make things better for yourself. If this sounds good to you, I want you to go to rhondaliebig.com, virtual group health coaching. You're going to learn these 3-step areas. We're talking choosing the right foods, connecting with your workout. Yoga is a great one for not just sitting and meditating, but really stepping into strong movement, holding it, challenging your mind to be connected with your body and moving yourself through it. Also, this woman is smiling, the day of gratitude. Those 3 parts are so important. That's what brings it all together. We just clear out the sabotages. And you'll find as you go in deeper and deeper and you feel like you've cleared out certain things, you're going to realize that it's been in disguise somewhere else. So, oh my gosh, it's crazy because there's always room. And that's why we're doing this as a monthly coaching, because you're going to go in and just start rolling in these new things and really stepping into what's happening for you and what results that you want to get. And it's ever changing. And so that's in the fit approach, the way that I coach. You're ready to add excitement into your workouts. So our coaching is that you're going to be putting a workout schedule together. You're adding it into your schedule. You have planning time, so then you don't even think about it. It just automatically rolls into the system of the day. So then you can get your workouts in. You're ready to decrease your aging factor. You're noticing that your aging is happening too fast. You're looking at pictures that were only a month ago or a year ago, and you're realizing, holy moly, what happened? What have I been doing to really affect my aging factor? You're ready to learn how to eat to increase skinning. So that means not bloating. You're learning how to eat like what Beverly said. And you can eat, and all of a sudden, you realize you have energy and you're not bloating. You're ready to decrease the stress factor. You're ready to learn weight loss tools to keep weight off permanently. How nice would that be to be able to learn how you can connect with logically what foods are going to help you lose weight and how you can do it instantly instead of thinking about food as a diet that just never does anything good for you, to knowing the foods that really work with your weight loss. Ready to learn how to burn fat fast through eating life balance. Ready to learn how to burn fat fast. And that's going to be life balance, what we're talking about today, and also eating and bringing it all together, those 3 steps. Ready to leave the mental sabotages behind. Now that is like, your mind has to be ready, because once we start going in there, you can't back off. You have to be so brave to make these changes because it really does. There's a reason why we sit into our sabotages, and now it's the time to open it up and challenge yourself to make changes and just not peek around the corner anymore, but fully get your body in there and step into it. Step into making changes. If that works for you, I want you to go to rhondaliebig.com, virtual group health coaching. So your to-dos, head on over, get your recipe at rhondaliebig.com, virtual group health coaching, and learn more about this coaching and what's going to work for you and how easy the investment is at this point. It's just a rolling $19.99. And you know what? I did not put the whole thing up here, but it's $19.99 for a month. And you're not stuck in a contract where you have to, basically feel like you have to have a certain amount of time. But it's going to be exciting. It's going to be wonderful to be able to just step into action, have a coach to help keep your mindset going. And it's like a little bit of medicine. We talk about food being your medicine, your lifestyle, being able to approach your life in a positive way. This is what you get. Full support every month, meeting up a couple times throughout the month. In there, you're going to see the information when you go to virtual group health coaching. And if this sounds good for you and you're ready to step into it, then I invite you in. If you're still teetering back and forth, I want you to take some time to think about it, because I want you to step in and just feel fully like you're ready. And you can even contact me at rhondaliebig.com. So just put Rhonda in front of, like, my website is rhondaliebig.com. You can put Rhonda at rhondaliebig.com. If there's questions that you're just feeling like you are not fully aware if this is right for you. So if you feel like you're ready to make these changes, seriously, you're just frustrated, then I invite you in. Come on over to group health coaching. Start the rolling of your monthly support, and then we'll step you into setting up your coaching program. It's all virtual. It's with the group, so you have group support. You get your own personal group Facebook. So it's private. You get all the support with everybody that's in the group. And the pricing, the investment is only $19.99 because this is a jump start into a new program that I'm launching. So getting in for this investment is wonderful, because then the group is small right now. You get a lot of support, and you're going to find that I can coach big groups, but it'll just give you that special attention. Anytime that you post something on the Facebook group, it's going to help you with being able to get answered instantly. You're going to be able to, ask questions, and you're going to be able to have me or my assistant answer your questions. And we're going to throw in there additional stuff when you're not with me live coaching. So you get support and new recipes. Even if you're not with me live, you'll get all these additional things, and it'll just keep rolling month to month just to keep you focused. I appreciate your time with me, and I hope that you enjoyed your time. I'm going to move up to the areas of your 3 steps here. I want you to follow these 3 steps into even journaling. If you didn't get into what your stressors were, what slams your energy with the foods that you're eating, and then the day that you are not feeling throughout the day, what parts of the day you're not feeling well. But I want you to journal on it and really start. You can write, you can list things, so you can start really becoming aware. And when you're ready to be coached, this tool is really going to help you, because it just gives you a jump start to look at things differently. All right, you have a fit day. It's been wonderful spending time with you. Go on to the virtual group health coaching, and I'll see you on the other side. If you're not ready for it, then I'll catch up with you soon. Talk to you later.